let me take you back to YouTube's heyday, YouTube's prime. Where you could go and watch Let's Plays because it was cool, and you were 12, so no one gave a shit. You would watch people like Markiplier, PewDiePie, whoever.
I'd walk forever for this one.
It was okay. Now, less so, and they're not as good anymore. There was one Let's Player in particular I would frequent a lot because he was known for playing a lot of horror games. More specifically, he was known for stuff like Corpse Party and a bunch of other like niche anime horror games. And if anyone knows me, I like my horror. I like my horror a lot. But one type of game in particular that he would play a lot of the more famous Let's Players would sometimes play, was a type of game called a visual novel. I define a visual novel as a virtual anime choose your own adventure storybook, but the amount of decisions you can actually have in this story is very limited. And just for argument's sake throughout this entire thing, I'm going to refer to it as a VN because I've played a lot of them. I'm a weeb. It's quicker, okay, VN. Some notable visual novels include that of Doki Doki Literature Club, Higurashi no Nako no Koro ni, Nailed It, Clannad, just Clannad, the whole Danganronpa series, which is, I really like Danganronpa, it's pretty sick. Steins Gate, among numerous others. There's one visual novel in particular that I saw get played when I was about 12 or 13, back in 2015. And the person playing it was a Let's Player called Eric Van Wilderman. And this game was called Saya no Uta, or Song of Saya. Oh, fucking pimp as fuck. So, first off, I'll provide a little context about where the game came from. Because if you're a weeb, some of these names and stuff might stick out to you. You might know some of this dude's previous work. So, the game itself was written and directed by Genta Robucci. If you're a bit of a weebler, you've probably heard of Genta Robucci before. He wrote stuff like Aldano Zero, Fate Zero, Maho Shoujo, Madoka Magica, Psycho Pass, Black Lagoon, among a lot of others. A fuck ton of others. Dude's been around. His style of writing is seen as somewhat edgy. When someone watches some of his work or reads some of his work, they're always split on him. You either love him or you hate him. People are mean on my anime list though, goddamn. The original version of this game was released in Japan on December 3rd in 2003. 6 years later, a fan patch translation was released 6 years later in 2009. And then 4 years after that, Just USA released a localized version on May 6, 2013. And shortly after that, the game was released on Android in Japan in 2014 on April 17th. This thing's on Android. People are playing this on their phones, which is kind of disturbed, but you're gonna see why shortly in a minute. You're gonna see why that's so fucking disturbed. Just recently, in recent years, well, not even years, last year, the game was re-released again on Steam on August 12th, 2019, where the resolution was up, it's all pretty, it's all nice and frilly, but the Steam version had some major changes, which I will discuss momentarily. Before I get down to brass tacks and actually talk about the game, because right now I'm just giving you context, I'm talking about the game, but not about the game. Here's a little bit of a disclaimer. The game itself has some darker themes. You have themes like murder. Yeah, that's not too bad. Murder's in everything these days, that's not that bad. Child murder. Ooh. Ooh, that's a little bit worse, but it's not a rarity to see. Rape. Cannibalism, maybe some drug use, maybe some alcohol abuse. I don't know, this game's got lots of weird and disturbed shit, okay? So, if you're just a 12-year-old playing Fortnite every day, fuck off. If you're somewhat intrigued, hold on a quick minute. Hold up. I got you. In a minute, I'll go over a quick plot synopsis of the first 5 minutes of the game just to get you into it. But before then, we'll go through some quick pros and cons about the game on a whole. The objective of this video is to get you to experience the plot. I don't care if you buy whatever version of the game. There's quite a few versions. I don't care whatever version you buy. Or if you just watch a walkthrough. I just want everyone to experience the plot. As many people as possible to experience the plot. I don't care how you do so. I would just prefer that you do. So that's the purpose of this video. Just fucking go out there, watch it, play it. I don't give a shit. Just then go in the comments and we can just chat shit about it. I don't care. Okay, time to dig in. So before I go into the plot and the soundtrack, the artwork, anything like that, I'm gonna have a quick pros and cons list. First of all, pro. In my opinion, the plot, the narrative, the character development, it's well done. It's Genta Robucci. He's wrote a lot of stuff. Granted, this is back in 2003, but it has his sort of style of writing where, in one word, you can pretty much sum it up as either edgy or nihilism. Either way, it's dark writing. I found it entertaining. I'm a fan of this. There is no bias here. Don't look at my don't, no. A bit of a con. Okay. This is a huge con for a lot of people. As this is a visual novel, if you're new at visual novels, this is something that you have to know. Player input in a visual novel is close to zero, okay? Especially in this game. If you are new to visual novels, I'd give this one a miss until you've tried a couple others, because Telltale games have more player input than this. That's just to like give you like a taster. There are only 2 times in the game where you make a decision. You get 2 choices at 2 points in the game, which means there's branching endings. So there's only 2 choices in the game. You know, it's a visual novel, it's a book, you're along for the ride, okay? You are here for the writing, the artwork, the soundtrack, you know, everything. But it's on the borderline of being a game. It's on the line. I mean, there are some types of visual novels which are called kinetic novels or sound novels where there is no player input at all and no decisions being made. They're even less so, but I digress. Just player input is fucking zilch, okay? If you're here for explosions, car chases, fucking no, it's just you watch text go by, you read it, you look at the artwork, you get in it for the writing and etc. Okay. Another positive, and I'm going to rant about this later on, the soundtrack, the original soundtrack, the OST, whatever you want to call it. If you're a hardcore gamer, it's the OST. Oh my fucking god. This shit's fucking fire, okay? I'll go into more depth later on, but the OST is just the tone of the music, the atmosphere of the music, suits every scene that it's in, except for one song that sticks out like a sore fucking thumb, but I'll go into that later, okay? But overall, the OST, it's legit. I listen to that shit away from the game just because it's fucking fire. When you've got the big sad, bro, when you've got the big sad, you listen to the Song of Sigh soundtrack. Do you know why? Because then you get the even bigger sad, bro, because that's what we all need right now. God damn. Another con. This is kinda, I'll talk about this in the disclaimer, but I'll go more into it. So, as I mentioned, there's scenes of a sexual nature, you know, but there's also other scenes where there's just normal sex scenes, because not only is this game more of a horror than anything else, in my opinion. It's Lovecraftian in a sense, and I love my Lovecraft, okay? I love my Lovecraft. I want to make a video on the Miskatonic probably, so I like my Lovecraft, okay? It falls into the category of eroge, E-R-O-G-E. Now, what are some other words we know that begin with the 3 letters E-R-O? So yeah, there's a big problem about this game, which when I talk about this game to people, I feel like it throws them off a bit, is the egregious use of sex scenes. Granted, some are needed in the plot, which is kind of, if you were to put it, it uses some sex scenes are unnecessary, but some are necessary for the plot. And also, in August of 2019, the Steam version of the game released, and as I mentioned, the Steam game was changed, and all the changes revolving around that is around censorship. And as a result, if you find this as a huge negative, a lot of the sex scenes are removed. A lot of the just blatant, egregious sex scenes that sort of come out of nowhere, they'll just pop out of nowhere. Like in the first 5 minutes. Okay, I'll talk about that later, but the Steam version of the game removes a lot of that. Okay, so you don't need to worry about that. If that really throws you off stuff, you're fine here. Just get the Steam version of the game. And if you decide to change your mind, you can buy a patch from JAST USA. But I'll talk more about that later. Another positive, the artwork for this game. This is kind of like a double-edged sword in a way. But I'm going to go through every category in the list later on, so don't worry about it. The artwork for this game is well done. It's well done, and because of the recent updates to the game, and not updates to the game, the recent versions of the game, the artwork has been upped in resolution. Looks all nice and smooth now. You lucky bastards didn't have to look at that shit back. Oh, on the old release, goddamn, that shit was not the same. But yeah, the resolution's been upped. The artwork's great, especially from the main character's perspective, which I'll get into in the plot synopsis part. This is just a quick pros and cons list. I'm not going to dive too much in. I'm just going to deeper dive in of all the categories later. Okay, another negative. This is both a positive and a negative. This is both a pro and a con. It's voice acted. In a visual novel, for a lot of visual novels, some of them aren't voice acted. A lot of the lower budget ones, but this one's voice acted really well in my opinion. The VAs know what they're doing. They get emotion across really well. You can tell what they mean from the tone of their voice. It's really well done. It's very well voice acted. But as a result of this being a visual novel, it's quite niche. It's a horror visual novel. It's a horror eroge visual novel, which is even nicher. There's only a Japanese dub, sorry. But, however, I'll leave a link in the description and probably put a little bit of a clip in here. Some people have made a fan dub, which isn't terrible. It's not my cup of tea.
I wouldn't deny it, of course, but I gave up on that a long time ago. Each night, I went to sleep wishing that this would turn out to be a nightmare, yet each morning I awoke to find that the world was just as horribly warped as it was the day before. I have to live while blending in, while acting like one of them. Just as I've done these past 3 months, I will continue to do for the rest of my life.
Like, hashtag subbed over dubbed, yo. But if you have to listen dubbed, people have made like a full playthrough of the game with dubbed voice acting. I'll leave a link for that. Another positive, I count this as a positive, the game has multiple endings. In total, the game has 3. There's multiple endings for the game. They're all suit Gen Urobuchi's writing style to a T. A lot of VNs only have like 2 endings. This one has 3. Count them. 3. 1, 2, 3. It feels, all endings feel well suited to the story that's being told. They all feel conclusive. Like, all endings feel like they end the story, which is good, because a lot of some VNs, when they get an ending, it just feels like it's too open-ended and there's still questions, which is a problem with a lot of writing, but some VNs have it pretty bad. Okay, this is a big negative. This is sort of going to build on what I said before. As it is a visual novel, it's book-like. You're going to do a lot of reading. You're going to read a lot. As it's only voice acted in Japanese, unless you know Japanese. I mean, if you watch sub like me, you're used to that shit, but like, it's literally a digital book in a sense. A digital choose-your-own-adventure book. And as a result, you're going to be reading a fucked one. There's no car chases and explosions. There's nothing like that. And as a result, I don't think this is very VN noob friendly. If you're going to start off with a visual novel, don't start off with this. Start off with, well, if you do start off with this, just get the Steam version. Trust me, just get the Steam version. If this is your first visual novel, just get the censored version. I mean it, bro. If you are new to visual novels, you ain't handling this shit, fam. As I gave the little disclaimer earlier. Also kind of a negative, but not really. This is for older people. Like, little Timmy sat in the corner playing Warframe. Like, he's playing Roblox. Just, like, leave him alone. Don't put this in front of him. He'll be in therapy, bro. Like, just, if you're, like, at least, I'm not gonna lie, yeah, I watched this shit when I was 12. Like, fucking, Jesus Christ, that's not good. This shit's fucked. But, like, if you're over, if you feel mature, fucking go for it. As long as you, I don't know, if you can drive, you can fucking watch this. There. That's how it works. And now we got 2 major positives, okay? We get 2 huge positives, bro. There's no bias here. There's no bias at all. Bro, we get a fucking top tier waifu, yo. We get a top tier waifu. Don't look at my desktop, bro. No, don't look away. Look away. Nah, there's no bias here. Nah. It's just fact. It's not an opinion. It's fact. Look away. No. Shut up. Go away. Another huge positive, okay? Another huge positive. If anyone knows me, they know I like my fighting games. And this little known fighting game gen called Nitro Blasters. And bro, Saya is playable, yo. My wife who can throw down hands for days, yo. Like, bro, you can play Saya in a fighting game. If you like FGs, if you like fighting game shit like me, that's fucking sick. Like, what the fuck? That's just one of the best things ever. Like, oh my god. Let's have a quick break for our sponsor, and today's sponsor is me. Follow me on Twitch. I'll put there. I'll probably put the link up there. Fucking look over there. Yep. Follow me. Sub. Give me that Prime, bro. I want to buy Grand Blue, please. I need to buy all the Dead by Daylight DLC. Legion's over there in the corner crying. Fucking send help. Before I go into plot yet again, I'm just gonna give a quick glance over the different versions of the game. So, the original 2000 release in Japan obviously had all the sex scenes intact, low resolution, as it was the original release of the game. All in Japanese, of course. Then the 2009 patch, same thing, like low resolution as it was, the old version of the game. But it was in English, no changes there. Then the 2014 release, basically just a rezzed up version. The one released by Just USA was basically just a rezzed up version with no censorship. The only version with censorship is the Steam version, so that's why I'm suggesting, if you're new to this shit, just genuinely get the Steam version. I genuinely mean that. Fucking look into my eyes, bro. Get the Steam version. I'll just watch someone play through, because they're going to have to cut out the scenes if it's on YouTube. They're going to have to cut out those scenes if it's on YouTube. Like, they would be more than banned if they had, like, the uncensored shit on YouTube. God damn. But what I did, just for the sake of this video, for the sake of research, I bought the Steam version. I bought the censored version, and I played through it. Well, actually, I tell a lie. I bought the DLC from Just USA. I bought the patch of £4 for research, okay? For research. Was it worth it? You tell me. Therapy? Nah, that's cheap, dog. So I bought the DLC. I played through both versions of the game. I've seen gameplay of the old version, and I think I played it ages ago. It's been a while, but okay. Let's move on. Now it's time for a very brief plot synopsis of about the first 5-10 minutes of the game. It's probably going to be gameplay in the background the entirety of this, but now it's going to be just the beginning of the game. So the game literally starts off with sort of a disclaimer, sort of a question, where this, or at least in the Steam version of the game, where it's asking you, do you want us to blare out the grotesque imagery, or do you just want to see that shit? And of course, because we ain't pussies, we see that shit in its full glory. And literally the first thing we see is a bloated tentacle thingy monster, which is, you know, a bit of a shock. We can defer from the dialogue we're being told. We are currently seeing the narrative from the point of view of Fuminori Sakisaka, who is the main character of this tale, and he is currently at a table with his friends, but he currently doesn't see them as his friends, does he? He sees these tentacle, slimy, fucking motherfuckers. As a result, he's very distant with his friends. His friends are like, I think this is a quote, he doesn't even look at us as if we're human. They go on to explain, well, if that happened to you, you'd probably be the same. And what that means, what they are referring to, which is like literally just the beginning as well. Fuminori was in a car accident where both his parents died. I mean, because it's Gen Urobuchi, he's going to make his characters fucking depressing. Both of his parents died, and as a result, the car accident was so bad, it was a scrap heap where their parents, it was difficult to tell their bodies apart. I don't know why that detail's in there, it's just kind of fucking depressing, but it's just a line that says that, and it's fucking grim. As a result of the car accident, Fuminori was left with a severe injury, a head injury, when he was in the hospital. When he saw his friends initially, he was screaming and ranting and raving like a lunatic. So Fuminori is surrounded by these monsters that he used to call his friends. He can defer from what they're saying, which monsters are which friends, but because of his perception of the world, because of the accident, their voices are garbled and mumbled and sound horrific. I'll probably play a clip of what their voices sound like through, it's basically they put a filter over their voices, and it still sounds a bit unsettling. So Fuminori quickly leaves, just not wanting to look at them all, just disgusted by them. Fucking disgusting black creatures. And then he says that he needs to go to his doctor's appointment, in which he meets. Okay, first of all, let's talk about his friends at the table with him, just for argument's sake. I'm just going to give you as much little snippets of information to try and get you intrigued. He has Koji, his best friend, his BFF for life, fucking gangster. We ride together, we die together. Then you have Omi, Fuminori's best friend's girlfriend. Omi's fucking, she's just there. Then you've got Yo, Fuminori's best friend's girlfriend's best friend, who also has a crush on Fuminori and had a crush before the accident. Basically, that's the cast. This is going to be the main cast. Okay? Pretty much. That's his group of friends. You've got Koji, Omi, Yo, and of course, the Fuminori. Protagonist Chan, Protagonist Kun. So, Fuminori goes to his doctor's, and it is revealed that Fuminori is looking for a person called Dr. Ogai, and he reveals that he knows one of Dr. Ogai's relatives, and he hopes to find him because currently Dr. Ogai is missing. Dr. Ogai was a doctor at the hospital where Fuminori was being treated for the accident. He is asking these questions to a doctor. To a Dr. Ryoko Tambo, who has some fucking nice looking thighs. Ooh, I like some green hair. It's clear that she knows something, but she's just not letting on what she knows. So Fuminori sort of notices that Ryoko knows he's hiding something, because no one knows about his change in point of view. But it is in this conversation with the doctor, it is revealed that he is a medical student, so he has some knowledge of what is happening to him right now, what is happening with his mind. And he says that it is some form of agnosia, which is kind of like a change in perspective as a result of an accident. I'm not a doctor, I study fucking media. You think I know about doctor shit? I ain't no psychiatrist. All I know that he says it's agnosia. At least I think that's how you pronounce it. Anyway, that doesn't matter. Basically, his perception has changed, or he struggles to match things in his head. I don't know. But we can see just from his point of view how he saw the room he was in with his friends, how he sees the hallway leading out of the hospital, how he sees the outside world. His point of view is fucked because of this agnosia. He sees the sky's constantly black, everything's covered in guts and gore. His friends are these absolute fucking horrible smelling, static, spewing, tentacle, creepy fucking things. And the walls are just lined with, I think he mentions that this look like pig intestines at one point. Just the walls are just disgusting, and the artwork is really good here. Like the artwork does it justice, pretty much. And you can tell, like, I'm gonna have these images on screen, and you can tell, if you had to live like this every day, you'd be more than just a bit grumpy, wouldn't you? You'd be more than just a bit miffed at this fact. At this point, Fubinori says something. He says there's one bit of normalcy in his life. There's one thing that gives him hope, a shimmer of light. Can you guess what it is? Is it the title of the goddamn game? Yes, it is. It's a small female called Saya. Okay, so basically he heads home from the hospital, and it is revealed on his way home from the hospital that this bit of normalcy, this bit of hope, this bit of life, the only thing left in his life that is somewhat ordinary is Saya. Okay? Saya. And immediately it raises a question. If Saya looks normal, and everything else looks fucked. I mean, he mentions that just from an intellectual level, he knows that those are his friends. He knows they don't really look that way. Then what does Saya look like? So, he goes back home, Saya meets him at the door. It's all wholesome. The voice acting's great. Oh my god, it's adorable. And one of the problems about his agnosia is brought up. What does food look like to him? So Saya cooks him a meal from a recipe in a book, and it's put in front of him, and it's just absolute fucking just viscera and nastiness. Yet he chows it down because it's for his love, Saya. And he mentions, without Saya, he'd probably be going insane. He's becoming more and more codependent on her. Because, I mean, wouldn't you? Like, bruh, look at the fucking world in this shit. This shit's fucking... Jesus Christ. This shit's fucking dark. And immediately after eating the meal, they head upstairs, and boom! Random sex scene. I'm probably gonna, just to make my mother proud, I'm just gonna play the audio and just have me stare at the camera. Just while I probably overlay a bunch of sex scenes. I don't care if they went online on Twitch. Can you fucking stop? Okay, that'll do. So basically, I'm just gonna stop it there. That's literally the first 5-10 minutes of the game. And I don't want to reveal any more, man. I know that's not a lot. I don't know if that's intrigued you enough. It probably hasn't. But I don't know. I want to reveal as little as possible about the plot. I just want everyone to experience it, man. So that's a bit of the plot. Let's move on to the artwork. The artwork will have been in the background the entire time, throughout this entire video probably. Probably just my gameplay. Probably me just going through the game normally, for the censored version of course. And you probably can see the artwork on screen a bunch. Seeing the hellscape that Fuminori sees, and the character sprites and all that. I feel like they do their job effectively. Like, you can see how a perception of the world like this could warp your dependency on people, or at least on Saya. But one small problem about the artwork arises because of the upscale and resolution, and how much higher quality of the images. Basically, the artwork looks a little bit dated in places, but that kind of adds to an uncanny valley effect even more so it still looks even more unsettling. It works in the game's favour a lot of the time, but the artwork's still great. It's just I'd prefer if they just, like redrew it all and made some more pretty images for me to look at. That's all. Either way, the artwork's great. It suits everything. The artwork is just fine. It's beautiful. It's lovely. I mean, one thing that the artwork does do is it helps your mind paint an image for yourself of what the rest of the world looks like for him. As I've said before, imagine what food looks like for him, tastes for him. It's not just his sight that's changed, or his ears. Every sense of his has been warped. If he goes to shake someone's hand, it's going to be a fucking tentacle to him. If he goes to just touch the wall, it's going to pulsate at him. If he's going to eat some food, it's going to taste like the most vile thing in the world. What the fuck does a car look like to him? What does sleeping in a bed feel like to him? Like, it paints this image in your head, and I love that. It's great. It's fucking, it's beautiful. And to answer my own last question, what's it feel like to be in a bed? I'll probably put that image on screen. Because I imagine that doesn't feel good. I imagine that's not comfortable. Holy shit, that's probably not the best feeling in the world. Time to talk about one of my favourite aspects of this game. Okay. One of my favourite aspects about this game is indeed the OST, the soundtrack, the original soundtrack, the score, whatever the fuck, the music for the game. There are 15 tracks for the OST, and for some reason they all use alliteration, and every single song starts with S. So it's like Schizophrenia, Sabbath, Sin, Song of Sire 2. Like every track begins with S. Hold up, I'll read through them all now. So every track begins with S. So you've got Schizophrenia, Sabbath, Seek, Spooky Scape, Song of Sire 1, Song of Sire 2, Sin, Sunset, Shapeshift, Scare Shadow, Scream, Savage, Silent Sorrow, Song of Sire, Shoes of Glass. I don't know why it's all alliteration and it's all S's, but it kind of reminds me of Dead Space for some reason, where there's just a little message hidden in the chapter names. That's a little Easter egg for you. Yeah, in Dead Space 1, if you read all the chapter names out, there's a little message. I'm not going to put it on screen, because that's a spoiler. And I like Dead Space. I'm not going to spoil that. I'm not going to spoil this. I like this game. But I digress. Let's talk about the soundtrack some more. So, I've probably been playing the soundtrack throughout the entirety of this video. Probably been looping it over and over again because I'm a huge fan of it, and it is great for building tension and suiting the moments that are on screen, that you are reading. It suits the artwork that's happening. Some personal favourites of mine are Schizophrenia. Like, my personal favourite is Schizophrenia. My personal favourite song from the soundtrack is Schizophrenia, because it's just this droning, industrial, tension building. It's just droning, and it feels very impactful at the scenes that it's in. It's so foreboding, and it gets you in the mood to be tense. It's great. It's great at building suspense. I love Schizophrenia. That sounds weird, but you know what I mean. But out of the entire soundtrack, there's one song that sticks out a bunch, and it's Savage. What? It begins with S? I'm so surprised. That's so silly. God damn it, I sound like a snake character in an animated movie. Savage takes... Okay, I'll play a bit of Savage now, just to sort of like... It doesn't suit the tone a bit, but when it does show up, it's a banger, so it doesn't matter. It's fine, it's a banger. I mean, it suits the tone. It's just a banger. It just doesn't fit in with the rest of the songs, that's all. But every other song, the entire soundtrack is purely instrumental. There's only, I think, around 2 or 3 tracks that have vocals, but they never have lyrics. It's just sort of like, it's not chanting, it's just like a vocal little la la la. It's creepy, like in the Song of Sire, like the theme and stuff, it'll play. But as I've said, it's mostly instrumental, it's mostly industrial ambient with no vocals. But because 0 songs have lyrics, 0. And I think that's for good reason, because I feel as if you put lyrics in, you'd be focusing on the lyrics and trying to find a meaning in them instead of reading what's on screen. I feel like the lack of lyrics is for good reason, and I appreciate that, because, I mean, like, when I'm listening to a song, like, I get fucking all 3 Easter eggs on a fucking Black Ops Zombies map. I'm like, beauty of annihilation. What strange philosophy is hidden in this? I'm just happy that there's no lyrics, so I don't have to fucking Google the lyrics and make notes on them just to put them in here, okay? I'll give a bit of a conclusion here. So in conclusion, the game's soundtrack, artwork, plot are fantastic, but there are some dark themes, and it's for a more mature audience, and it's not very beginner friendly for newer people into visual novels. But if you can sit through a schlocky B movie like me, a schlocky B horror movie, like Society, or like even in the old school Halloween, in the original Halloween, within the first 5-10 minutes, Michael Myers is stabbing someone and grabbing their tit. Like, if you can sit through a schlocky old school B horror movie, or you can sit through Game of Thrones, which has fucking sex in it, or so I've heard, you can sit through this. I mean, I've talked a lot about the sex scenes, but they're short. They pass over quick enough. There's a decent chunk of them. I think there's like 4 or 5. Some of them are necessary to the plot. Like 2 or 3 of them are sort of necessary, but they are there. Just be aware. With that being said, I hope this has intrigued you a little bit about the game. I mean, the gameplay and the artwork has been on screen the entire time. I'll have the soundtrack in the background the entire time. So I hope this has either just intrigued you a little bit, or at least watch like an episode of someone playing through, or to go out and buy the game yourself, because it's only ever a tenner. I think it's rare to find it on sale, but it's always cheapish. It's not expensive on Steam anyway, for good reason. It's censored. It's watered down, bro, but for good reason. Watered down Saga is the best for new players, and I'll say that as many times as I have to. If this has made anyone experience the plot, please let me know, because I want to talk about this shit, and that would make me super happy. But also, I've got a couple other videos planned for in the future. Probably World of Horror, because that's also Lovecraftian, and the Miskatonic, which is also Lovecraftian. I like my Lovecraft, bro. Just look at that. He's a handsome devil, isn't he? He's a handsome boy, and also incredibly racist. Holy shit, bro. Also, if you want me to do a full analysis of the plot, I'll do that. I'd love to do that, bro. If anyone wants me to do a full analysis of the Silent plot, I'd be more than happy to. But I'll digress. Anyway, I'm gonna end it here now, because I've been recording for about 45 minutes of me just talking to myself. That's always a great thing, isn't it? Holy shit. Fucking subscribe, like this video, follow me on Twitch. I don't really give a shit about my YouTube as much as my Twitch, so, you know, I'd want you to follow both if possible, but just like, follow me on Twitch. A quick little thing at the end here. I've been editing this for a while, and I can pick up on a lot of stuff, so sorry for repeating myself so much. Sorry for all the stuttering. It's my first time with this shit. Cut me some slack. I didn't give myself a script, and I apologise for that, but if you managed to reach it this far at the end, thank you very much. So that being said, toodles my doodles. I'll catch you in the next one.